Celebrate the splendor and majesty of the season with a timeless holiday tradition. Live from the heart of downtown Detroit, Michigan, it's the Thanksgiving Parade.
Good morning. We're glad you could join us for one of Detroit's oldest and most cherished holiday traditions, the Thanksgiving Parade. I'm Mort Krim.
And I'm Carmen Harlan. This is the 68th year the parade has traveled down Woodward Avenue in the heart of Detroit. And this year it promises to be bigger and better with the addition of some new floats, balloons, and a handful of stars.
As a matter of fact, the parade is ready to roll right now, so let's get things going with a bang. Chuck? Chuck Gaedica's out there on the scene now, right down on the parade route with a couple of his kid co-hosts, and we'll be getting to him in just a moment. Right now, what are we seeing, Carmen?
We're taking a look at the 1994 Art Van themed float. It's the Alice in Wonderland float, sponsored by Art Van Furniture.
It's been a secret up until now.
That's right.
Now it's not a secret because we've told everybody.
It's the second year Art Van has sponsored the parade's theme float. It's the biggest float ever in the parade, 60 feet in length, with more animation than ever before. The Mad Hatter spins. If you look real close, the March Hare's crazy clock spins, and Alice's eyes blink.
All right, and I think Chuck and his co-hosts are ready down on the parade route right now. Chuck, how's it look from that vantage point?
Thank you. We've got two of our new co-hosts with us this year. Carolette Goodman is with me. She's 12 years old, and Lauren Parrott is 10 years old, and we're just set to go here with this year's parade. Are you enjoying it so far?
Oh yeah, it's great. I love the parade.
And how about you? Well, it really is, and we've got a marching band that's coming down the pike here. This marching band, the Art Van carriages are coming down as well. You can see now behind the Art Van secret float, which, as Mort mentioned, was the top secret until today. We have Art Van Elslander and family coming down in a horse-drawn carriage. As you might recall, several years ago, this parade was saved by the Art Van family. And it's always a pleasure to see them involved in this parade and all that they do for it. Now the Athens Redhawk marching band coming down behind. This is Athens High School in Troy, Michigan. This band, directed by Fred Judd, is 153 members strong.
This is the school's 12th appearance in the Thanksgiving parade. The school has performed all across the country. Some appearances have been National Cherry Festival in Washington, D.C., Fiesta Bowl, and Florida Citrus Bowl.
And I think they brought a little of that Florida sunshine with them this morning here in downtown Detroit. We've got a beautiful morning with blue sky and sun. A little cool as you would expect, but we're having a good time. Down right behind that marching band, these are some of my favorites, the Three Blind Mice. This adorable triumvirate is last year's winning design in the Michigan Thanksgiving Parade Balloon Student Design Contest.
The Three Blind Mice was submitted by Brandon Copeland from Longfellow Elementary School in Detroit. These three mice are unique in that it's the first time that the parade has teamed up more than 2 balloons at a time.
We've got a bit of a breeze out here on Woodward Avenue, and I was down the street with the balloon handlers earlier, and they were a little afraid of somewhat of a breeze out here, but it appears that they've got everything under control as they move these big balloons down Woodward Avenue. Well, I don't know if they meant to turn toward each other. Oh, they're going to kiss. A season filled with love and giving, and the Three Blind Mice are showing us that this morning. Down there.
Well, we have a picture-perfect day here in Detroit, Michigan. The sun is shining, temperatures are moderate. We have a lot of people, thousands of people who've turned out to line Woodward Avenue for the 68th annual Thanksgiving Day Parade.
And we're getting a glimpse of some of them, too, as they take their bows, hopefully not the final one of the day. The Hudson's theme float this year is Beauty and the Beast, sponsored by Hudson's Department Stores.
Well, that's what they call us in the newsroom, Carmen. You and me, Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. But it just goes to show you that beauty is more than just skin deep. Or Beauty and the Beast is the theme of the brand new animated and dynamic walkthrough holiday display at the Summit Place Mall in Waterford.
It'll be out there through December 31st, so if you want to get another close-up look at it, go out to the Summit Mall.
All right. And we'll be back in a moment with more of our coverage of the Michigan Thanksgiving Day Parade from downtown Detroit.
Well, we're back in Detroit with the annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Mort Grimm and Carmen Harlan, your hosts, and what a day it is for a parade.
Oh, Mort, it's a beautiful day here in downtown Detroit, and right now we're going to take a look at the High School of the Fine and Performing Arts. It's a new charter school in Detroit, and they're making their way down Woodward Avenue. Their focus of this new performance is dedicated to the excellence and education of the arts.
You know, they are so new.
Under the direction of Ed Quinn.
They're so new, they don't even have band uniforms. They went out and rented tuxedos for this performance.
That's okay.
Today.
I understand they're very good, so let's take a listen.
Gatica and his young co-hosts are down on the street ready to describe this next very interesting float coming by.
Oh,
Chuck?
you recognize him.
Well, Carmen Mort, we sure do. This is the Skillman Foundation presents Humpty Dumpty, who has not taken a great fall this morning. This is the 1994 winner of the parade's Student Float Design Contest, and it's sponsored by the Skillman Foundation.
This design was submitted by 8-year-old Ashley Triplett, a student at Malcolm X Academy in Detroit. More than 9,200 students participated in this year's contest. Humpty is a 12-foot inflatable egg atop a 35-foot-long float. Surrounding the float are all the king's horses and all the king's men, and even the knight himself, helping to put Humpty together again.
Well, you know what? It looks like this guy's a little tipsy with this breeze. I hope he can stay out all the way to the end of the parade. If not, we might have the world's largest omelet right here on Woodward Avenue. I'll take broccoli and onions in mine, okay? Coming in right behind, we also have Skillman Foundation presents The Cow Jumped Over the Moon. This is one of the new Macy's-style floats. It's, again, a 1994 winner of the parade's Student Design Contest, brought to us by the Skillman Foundation. This design was submitted by 9-year-old Jenny Chinkska, and she's a student at Anchor Bay Upper Elementary School in New Baltimore.
From the nursery rhyme, Hey Diddle Diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. This design was chosen from thousands of entries submitted by elementary school kids from across Michigan. This is a new kind of balloon technology to Michigan Thanksgiving Parade. This is a Macy's-style balloon, a totally sealed balloon filled with pure helium.
You know, the other balloons in the parade, Lauren, are filled with air. that are supplied by a fan sewn into the balloon and then lifted off the ground by helium contained in weather balloons that are actually hidden inside the body of this character. So it's a little different style. It looks like this guy's trying to come down and, oh, look at all the cows, the handlers on the ground. They're beginning to pull him down to try to get a handle on him as he passes under the people mover. All right, now we've got the FOPA, the Friends of the Parade Association, with the Doodlebug. This is sponsored by that group, FOPA, the volunteer organization that makes the parade possible, and I'm proud to wear their pin today.
There are volunteers in every aspect of the parade, like the costume marchers you see here, to the thousands of people behind the scenes. Floats, drivers, balloons, inflators, costumes, and more.
FOPA's president is Eula Grooms, who incidentally was married in the parade last year, and we wish them a happy anniversary, both to Eula and to Donald, her husband.
The Doodlebug was a long-time parade favorite that had disappeared, and he was brought back in 1992 with proceeds from a rubber duck race fundraiser.
Bart, Carmen?
All right, Chuck. If I look a little closer, Mort, I think I see Babe the Blue. Oh, that's a real close-up.
Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, and this one is special to us because this float is sponsored by WDIV Television, the official broadcaster of the Thanksgiving Parade, the station that's originating this national broadcast today.
Babe is 45 feet long, 16 feet high, and covered with 4,000 square feet of blue fur. He's followed by his friend Paul Bunyan, who's a 50-foot-tall helium balloon.
This art van theme float was the first of a series. Next year there will be a new theme float, while this float will remain in the parade. We'll just keep adding new, more interesting floats. And of course we all know the legend of Paul Bunyan.
That's right.
Babe the Blue Ox.
No one could fall a tree like Paul Bunyan, right?
And there's Paul himself. You know, everybody loves this parade, but the kids especially. It's so much fun to look out of the broadcast booth here and look at their faces, Carmen, from the little bitty kids all the way up.
And it could be because they see Tortoise and the Hare. This float is based on characters from Aesop's fable, the Tortoise and the Hare. And Tortoise is self-propelled with the Hare in close pursuit.
Maybe the Tortoise and the Hare ought to run in the turkey trot. That's the parade's 10-kilometer run, which finished just moments before our parade began.
That's why I saw all of those people running down there. I thought they were running to find a good seat for this parade.
I have to do that tomorrow after the turkey.
All right. Well, there's lots more to come. More floats, more music, more clowns, more excitement from
More
the city of Detroit.
bands, more fun.
Our coverage will continue in just a minute. It's the Michigan Thanksgiving Day Parade from downtown Detroit. Welcome back. We're watching the Henry Ford II Falcon Marching Band from Henry Ford High School. 175 members in all.
This band is under the direction of Rich Nitterhouse. It's just been selected to participate in the 1996 Tournament of Roses Parade out in Pasadena. First band from southeastern Michigan to be selected for that honor in a quarter of a century.
Well, they've got lots of experience, Mort. They've played for presidents as well as many bowl games and appearances. They've appeared in this parade, though, since 1987. Let's take a listen.
right, Chuck Gatica and his co-hosts are on the next float that you're going to see, the bed with the Michigan Acrobats. And I see Chuck there. Yeah. Hi, Chuck. Can you hear us?
Well, hi, Mort. Hi, Carmen. I can hear you. You know, every kid loves to jump on a bed, and I'm with Newt Loken, who's been doing this for, what, 48 consecutive years? Now, tell us about the Michigan Acrobats. That's who's performing here.
Well, they've all been former trampoline champions, so they're very qualified, and they're a little bit older now, but their level of skill is right up there.
Well, it's always good to see you every year. You wake me up when I see your smiling face. Happy Thanksgiving, dude.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chuck. We appreciate the parade.
Oh,
we love it.
Well, great. Nice to have you back again. Thank you, everybody. Mort, Carmen.
All right, Chuck, move out of the way because guess who's coming?
The big guy.
Oh, Mishcon presents Captain Detroit. He's sponsored by the Mishcon Foundation. He flies an average of 25 feet and requires at least 15 handlers on a good day.
Boy, that's more handlers than we require, isn't it?
He's the Motor City's own superhero, Captain Detroit.
This balloon is 40 feet long, has 6-foot biceps. I can identify with that.
Yeah.
And a chest measurement of wider than 10 feet.
We're being seen right now, I guess, on 270 stations across the country, including Hawaii, as well as Mexico, Canada, the Virgin Islands, the Bahamas, and Puerto Rico.
Well, I tell you, they couldn't be having any better weather in the Bahamas and Puerto Rico today than we're having right here in downtown Detroit.
Well, we do want to wish everyone who's joining us from here and around the country a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving Day. As Captain Detroit makes his way past Hudson Woodward Avenue, we've got the Double O Riders. We've had more equestrian groups this morning. The Double O Riders are making their second appearance in this parade. We want to welcome them.
They recently appeared in the Clinton inaugural parade in Washington, D.C. a couple of years ago.
An interesting story here, Mort. This group was formed in 1989 by Dr. Odell Nails, a retired superintendent of the Pontiac school system. And he really felt it was important to bring underprivileged children to a ranch where they would learn to ride and experience ranch life.
Unfortunately, Dr. Nails died in a tragic tractor accident near the ranch, but his family has vowed to keep the dream alive and keep the ranch going, and they've done that. They're out in Davisburg, Michigan.
And in that spirit, we want to thank them for doing that and certainly for being with us today.
Oh, here's one that's close to the heart of every little boy like myself, the Lionel Trains float. The little engine that...
Yes, everybody loves the toy train at the holidays.
Dick Kuhn, of course, owns Lionel Trains, and he and Linda are both out there as clowns. They're both extremely active in keeping this Detroit parade going and growing and prospering every year.
I think the engineer is quite excited about being a part of this. And you mentioned the distinguished clowns, and that Dick Kuhn and his wife Linda Kuhn were a part of that distinguished corps, and they are some of the biggest fundraisers of this parade, and they certainly keep it going.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dick isn't on there handling the controls on the engine today.
And guess who is also a part of this parade? We had a chance to meet Tom Arnold and his fiancée a little bit earlier.
He's the parade's grand comedy marshal.
Oh, certainly. He's an award-winning writer and comedian who recently gained acclaim as a comedy actor.
If you haven't seen the action thriller True Lies,
maybe you
that's
should.
That's a fun movie. And joining Arnold in the parade, as Carmen just said, Julie Champnella, who lives here in the Detroit area.
All right, and we've got a lot more to come from Detroit, so please don't go away. We'll be right back.
The annual 68th Michigan Thanksgiving Parade from downtown Detroit. Mort Krim and Carmen Harlan, your co-hosts, as we watch the Geauga High School Band from Chesterland, Ohio.
Oh, they traveled pretty far, didn't they, Mort? There are 81 members in this band, directed by Frank Consenza. They performed internationally as part of the St. Catherine's Grape and Wine Festival, Grand Parade in Canada.
I think Chesterland's a suburb of Cleveland, I believe.
Well, we want to welcome them on this Thanksgiving Day. Beautiful day here in downtown Detroit.
Time to go over and check that turkey, I guess.
Well, this one certainly looks familiar. We saw him last night at the Hobnobble Gobble, a big fundraising party for the Michigan Thanksgiving Day Parade, sponsored by NBD, Bank, NA, and Lionel Trains.
This is a unique float because it has an inflatable turkey mounted on a moving float.
The float represents the black tie benefit for families to support the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
We had 2,000 people at that big party last night that you and I were at, Carmen.
And the Hobnoble Gobble was founded and is cheered by Mr. Gary Wasserman, the first vice chairman of the parade, and produced by an event manager, Susie Gross. And Chuck, how does it look from where you're sitting?
Well, I'm in a great spot down here. This is a brand new entry in this year's parade. Chrysler Corporation presents the antique circus wagons, and some of them are led by Percher on horses. Tell us about these fine animals. They sure are beautiful.
Thank you. These are nap-time Percherons from Findlay, Ohio, and the horse originated in France, and they used to use them in the circuses for bareback riding.
Well, thanks so much. Good to have you in town. Now, this is a Chrysler Corporation funded event, and this is the first time for the Thanksgiving Day Parade here. These have come in from the Circus World Museum in Baraboo, Wisconsin. There is some rich history attached to each and every one of these circus wagons. The owner of one of the greatest collections of the circus wagons in the world is the state of Wisconsin, and the Circus World Museum has allowed these wagons to be brought into the state to be with us today. There are actually 4 different ones. One of them is called Pawnee Bill, and it was built for the Gordon Lindley's Pawnee Bill Wild West show years and years ago. Some of these go back to the 1880s. And then there's the Swan bandwagon built in 1905, actually belonged to the Ringling Brothers Circus. And so a lot of history with these things, and we're just glad to have them with us today. Mort, Carmen?
Mark Hendricks, who heads up this parade, told us there would be a lot of new things this year, and indeed there are for those of us who've been watching the parade over the years, and these wagons are part of that.
But a familiar fellow or face is making its way down Woodward Avenue.
More circus wagons right now, I guess. There's several of those.
Lots of people waving hello, wishing everyone a lovely holiday.
Now you can see that float,
There he
Dumbo
is,
the elephant,
up
presented by
close.
Northwest Airlines.
The world-famous cartoon character. Because of his huge ears, he's able to fly, actually. And
Some
we've got a little
people
wing here.
just know how to fly, don't they?
He's getting a little lip from Timothy Mouse that's tucked away in Dumbo's head.
It's his huge ears that allow him to fly. Remember the legend, cartoon character?
Yeah. And obviously a crowd. Oh, I see the mouse fort. There he is.
Yep.
Bobbing back and forth.
What, no co-pilot?
Well, I think Dumbo's going to do a little pirouette there. It's amazing what they can do with these floats, weather permitting.
These are huge inflatables. Now, oh, here comes
the
something
Budweiser
that's
Clydesdales.
always a favorite of this crowd, the most famous equestrian unit in the world, the Budweiser Clydesdales.
And they're back in the parade after a 1-year absence. We want to welcome them back.
8 beautiful horses, one of the largest and most beautiful draft horses anywhere in the world, pulling an antique delivery wagon.
And we've got a lovely sun-filled day here in Detroit. We've got a lot more to bring you, so please don't go away. Our coverage of the Michigan Thanksgiving Day Parade will continue right after this.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from downtown Detroit, Michigan, where you're watching the 68th Annual Michigan Thanksgiving Parade. The Paulding Mighty Marching Machine coming into view right now.
Boy, that's entertainment, huh? Under the direction of Amy Rader, this is a high-step band famous for their exciting performances. Mort, let's take a listen.
exactly what it is. Detroit Edison Foundation presenting Freddie Filament, sponsored by Detroit Edison.
Freddie stands 21 feet tall, 15 feet wide, just barely fits under the People Mover tracks at Grand Circus Park. He got his name through an employee contest, and I guess some of the other names were like Neon Leon, Hector the Protector, and Mac the Light. I like Freddie Filament.
I like that one.
Oh, you like Mac the Light? You would.
He's being handled by real Detroit Edison linemen and women.
And what a smile on a day like today.
John Lobia is chairman and CEO of Detroit Edison. He's also vice chairman of the Parade's board of directors. He and his wife Bobby are going to be along later in the Distinguished Clown Corps.
Well, I know why Freddie Filament is smiling. We couldn't have asked for better weather here.
That's right. Don't have to turn any lights on today. Mother Nature's taking care of that for us in Detroit.
And AAA of Michigan presents its Treasure Island float.
This has to be one of the most beautiful floats ever to be seen in any parade. Treasure Island is surrounded by 8-foot-tall papier-mâché pirates and sailors imported from Italy.
And riding on the float is our Grand Magic Marshal, Hare and Gabe Blackstone. Blackstone, the magician, appeared at last night's Hobnoble Gobble fundraiser at Cobo Center. He also made us appear.
Yes, he did.
As a part of this parade, didn't he?
He is a great guy. A lot of fun. Great sense of humor. Tells terrible jokes, but part of his job.
All right, Chuck. What do you see from where you are?
Okay, Blackstone, Harry, go to it.
Hey, here's some. Make a birdcage do all kinds of things, as a matter of fact. My lovely assistant Gay is floating in midair, just like that. That's the way. This is truly a Thanksgiving Day float. Make it float just like that. You know, one of the things that we love to do, right here, I have my little art right there. We have a. Oh, I thought I might have. Oh, I didn't bring it with me. Oh, golly, I guess I'll have to make it disappear then. Well, just right out there, have our deck of playing cards. And I'm going to ask the young man right over here, step right over in front. Now, we haven't met before, have we? We've never met before? What is your name? Di, I want you to name any playing card, and we'll have that card jump out of the deck, turn around in the air, and go back inside the deck upside down. You name it. Quick. Just one card. One of the aces. Well, there are 4 of them, 2 red, 2 black. Tell me quick. The ace of clubs. All right. We'll find the ace of clubs. You see it? Go up, around, out, and back right inside the deck upside down. You see it? Look right in there. You find the one card that was upside down is the ace of clubs, and there it is upside down right in the middle of the deck. And you know why it jumped out? Because it was the only card out of that entire red deck that had a blue back on it, you see? So I didn't want you to think, and by the way, there was no rehearsal on that. That wasn't prepared. We've never met before, have we? Never have. Well, you see, that's the way you can do some of the magic, and we've got more magic down the street right here. So we'll see you. A happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and to all of you. Thank you.
Now let's talk about the fancy farm mules coming down behind our master of prestidigitation. This is the equestrian unit, the Mule Team, which is owned by Dr. Joseph Hunt of Carrollton, Michigan.
This unit consists in 8 black sorrel blue ribbon mules with show hitch and wagon. Dr. Hunt and the mules have been a part of the parade for over 10 years. They have won numerous blue ribbons at horse shows across the whole country. This year, Dr. Hunt has added a new wagon and a new brass band to his unit.
That's the Dodworth Sax Horn Band. You know, it's a recreation of an authentic mid-19th century brass band. This band has been heard on the Ken Burns PBS special Baseball, as well as having an accompanying CD. Mort, Carmen?
All right, Chuck.
A lot more to come on this 68th annual Thanksgiving parade from Michigan. How'd you like Harry Blackstone?
Oh, You know what, Mort, I'll tell you in just a second, but you know who this is? This is the Grand Marshal of the parade, Mario Andretti.
A racing legend. He takes the pole position this morning as Grand Marshal of our Thanksgiving parade.
At 54, he completed his 31st and final season of IndyCar racing earlier this year. We want to welcome and wish him a happy Thanksgiving.
We talked to him earlier today. Truly a nice guy, a gentleman.
Now, he's riding in the Plymouth Prowler. It's a concept car from the Plymouth division of Chrysler Corporation.
For you car fans out there, the Prowler is a 240 horsepower muscle car with a 24-valve V6 engine and a design that harkens back to the hot rods, kind of like the one you drive, Carmen.
Thank you, Mort. Oh. And I think I see the Elves Around the World, sponsored by Ameritech. This float shows how how small the world can really be through the global communications.
This float was engineered by Parade Technical Director John Tomaszewski. And also marching today with the Distinguished Clown Corps is Ameritech President James Wilkes and his wife Brenda.
And you're hearing a little bit of the theme song. We've got this and a whole lot more just ahead when you stay with us for the coverage of the Michigan Thanksgiving Day
Check that
Parade.
turkey, but don't go too far away because we'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, we're back with you live from downtown Detroit. You know, there are Thanksgiving parades around the country, but in the 68 years that this Michigan Thanksgiving parade has become a tradition, I don't think there is a finer parade anywhere, one with more excitement, with more beauty than the pageantry you're seeing here today along Woodward Avenue.
That is so nice. I'm Carmen Herlin, along with Mort Grimm. We want to welcome you back to our coverage of the Michigan Thanksgiving Day Parade. You know, everybody has their favorites in a parade. Some people like the clowns, some people like the floats. There's a theme coming up that I think everybody's going to enjoy because this is one of Mort's favorites.
I'd like to become a part of this.
Fred Hill Briefcase Drill Team. If you've never seen them before, please watch closely. No one does it better.
They've never invited me to participate, but I'd love to be part of it.
I think so. This is their 7th appearance in the Thanksgiving Day Parade. We've got the Toy Soldier from Comerica. Sponsored by Comerica Bank, the Toy Soldier stands more than 65 feet tall. It's one of the parade's largest balloons, certainly a traditional favorite for those who've been coming to this parade for many, many years.
Comerica has really gotten into the spirit of giving this holiday by selling commemorative parade pins at all their local outlets. Now, the sale of these pins helps this not-for-profit parade company who produced the parade. It's defrays the costs of staging this magnificent event, which, as you can understand, does cost a lot of money.
And if I hear music behind him, it comes to us from Wisconsin,
Wausau.
Wausau East High School's marching band. They've traveled quite a ways to get here today, and we want to welcome them.
Larry Zunker is the director of this high school band. The red and black uniforms are unique. They look like conquistadors with a cape and fringed hat.
Olé, huh?
Down now where you can get a good look at this next float, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Lord, I'm right on the float. It doesn't get much better than that. The Detroit Free Press presents Pinocchio, and joining Pinocchio is the kids' mascot for the Free Press, the Yak. Hi, Yak. Nice to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. We not only have Pinocchio up here, but the Blue Fairy and the Sly Fox and the Black Cat as well. This float was designed by parade artist Jimmy Thompson and John Tomaszewski, and it was built by them. That Geppetto head up there is made out of styrofoam, and is quite the modeling of Geppetto. This is a real work of art, this float, and we're glad to have it in the parade this year. I said we're glad to have you in the parade. Thanksgiving. Mort, Carmen?
All right, Chuck.
Love those nursery rhymes and fairy tales, cartoon characters.
And Chuck is really all over the place today, isn't he? Seems to be enjoying every bit of it, too.
Well, there
Our
is no
next
such
float.
thing as a bad view on this parade with our 10 camera angles.
Do you see that puppy down there? And you know how my heart breaks for puppies. This is sponsored by Pet Supplies Plus, and IAM's Pet Foods presents the Puppy Balloon.
Bowser is the name of this pet. Looking for a good home as he makes his way down Woodward this morning. Each Pet Supplies Plus store works with local animal welfare agencies to place adoptable pets in qualifying homes. And Carmen, I know you would adopt every single one of them if you could.
I don't think this one's paper trained, though, boy. He stands very, very tall. As you can see, he's got quite a few handlers helping him down Woodward Avenue here in Detroit.
How'd you like to walk him every morning? We'll be right back to continue our coverage of the 68th Annual Michigan Thanksgiving Parade right after this brief timeout.
And welcome back to our coverage of the Thanksgiving Day Parade here in downtown Detroit. We've got bands from all over. This one comes to us from Niagara Falls, New York, the LaSalle Senior High School Explorer Band.
This band's come the longest distance, and of course we've had them from Wisconsin and from Ohio, from all over. The LaSalle Senior High School Band coming to us from Niagara Falls, 100 members strong under the direction of Jack Trabilski.
All right, well, let's take a listen.
They really are, Mort. You know, one of the nicest things about the spot that we're at is we see all of the floats and all of the parade goers go right by us here, and that really adds to the excitement for these kids. Carolette Goodman is with us this morning, and also Lauren Parrott. And this unit that's coming now is the Detroit Fire Department Clown Team.
This unit consists of 15 clowns, a pickup truck, and a 25-foot ladder truck. This clown team is supported by the Detroit Firemen's Fund Association. Founded in 1866, this fund is for disabled firemen and the widows and orphans of Detroit firemen killed in the line of duty. They've been a parade crowd pleaser for years, and we're glad to have them back.
We sure are. The Jeffrey Mobile now coming down right behind them, and this Jeffrey Mobile is brought to us by Toys R Us and Kids R Us.
Sponsored by Toys R Us, Kids R Us. It is a modified hot rod London double-decker bus.
There's somebody enjoying a warm spot, cuddling up. Riding on this float, of course, are Jeffrey, Gigi, Baby, and Junior. And it looks like they're having a lot of fun as well. I don't want to grow up either. Mort, Carmen?
Right, and you know, we haven't grown up, Chuck.
Yeah, not much danger of that.
Oh, the Jester. General Motors Foundation presents the Jester this year. The multicolored court Jester measures more than 45 feet from head to toe.
Of course, General Motors is headquartered here in Detroit, the Motor City. They're also a sponsor of the parade's national TV network.
Well, that giant bell is just perfect for ringing any holiday season, but especially this one. There's a lot of steel in this Jester. A lot of wire mesh styrofoam covered with a patchwork of artificial furs and satins. Wishing you a happy Thanksgiving this year.
Okay, here we go. Spread.
Oh my goodness, Mort, that looks like somebody we know spraying that silly string on the lens of that camera. That's our own Alan Frank, General Manager and Vice President of WDIV.
Can you really ever take him seriously again, Carmen?
Part of the Distinguished Clown Corps. And this is a distinguished group of
These clowns pay $1,000 apiece. They donate that money to the parade in order to march in the parade. I think they raise about $100,000. I think there are 100 of these clowns.
I think it's safe to say that without them, we might not have this parade, and so we want to thank them very much.
And they have fun, and they are indeed distinguished people. The chairman of Detroit Edison, Randy and Judy Agley of the Talon Corporation, Marlene and Paul Borman of supermarket fame, Frank Stella, Tom Adams.
You could go on and
General
on
Manager
and on.
of Neiman Marcus. I mean, these are people who have a lot of fun taking off their business suits and putting on their clown costumes.
That's right. Look at this little fellow. Actually, I don't think he's so little. This is Chili Willy, sponsored by Kmart. Probably the parade's most famous inflatable Chili Willy is legendary. I think he escaped one year, didn't he?
A few years ago, the night before the parade, Chili Willy took flight. He pulled up stakes. He was sighted by the pilot of a private airplane and finally was rescued by the Coast Guard near Walpole Island in Lake St. Clair.
Can you imagine looking out of your kitchen window as you're preparing your Thanksgiving dinner to find something like this floating by your house?
I can imagine that pilot saying, "I know I didn't drink before I took off today, but I can swear I see a huge penguin flying by."
Well, at least they found him and they brought him back to Detroit, where he's been part of this parade ever since. And I don't think we have to worry about him floating or getting away today. He's being handled very well. He even made a turn there to let everybody know that he's doing very well as part of the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Kind of looks like I looked in my tux last night at the party, don't you think?
You think so, Mort?
All except for the hat.
You know, he's been a part of this parade since 1988, and we look forward to seeing more and more of Chili Willy in the years to come.
Well, as you can see from watching your television sets, we're having a beautiful sunny day here in Detroit. Temperatures are mild. The parade route is lined with thousands and thousands of people. I wonder who's home cooking all the turkeys today, because I see an awful lot of moms out there, an awful lot of children having just a marvelous time, and of course waiting for the big event, which will come at the end of the parade, the arrival of Santa Claus.
And while we still have our eyes on Chili Willy, we may as well tell you that he does have a fan club with his own classic trolley. Since his legendary flight, Chili Willy has gathered a gigantic following, including, I guess, kids from all over the area and from various ages. They range in age from 7 to 12 years of age. Maybe that's a couple of them right there.
There's a trolley, which is representative of a bygone era here in the city of Detroit. Like so many cities across America, we used to have a network of trolley cars with their clanging bells, and now, of course, that's just a faded memory, but the memory is brought back to us live each year at parade time.
Well, you know what they say about the mail, Mort? It has to go through, no matter what. We've got Frosty the Snowman. The U.S. Postal Service presents Frosty the Snowman.
It's a brand new float. Brand new for 94.
That's right. Frosty's in a hurry, though, to get to the North Pole. He's collecting letters from all of the good boys and girls along the parade route.
And the
will
handlers,
wish them away to
handlers that you see around him, Carmen, are actual letter carriers and other Postal Service employees dressed as eagles.
Well, you know, we get our mail no matter what the weather is, and there's certainly our mayor, Dennis Archer, and his wife, the Honorable Trudy Archer, getting a real joy and kick out of this holiday parade this year.
This is the first year for Mayor Archer in his role as mayor, as former state Supreme Court justice.
Everybody loves the parade, and it's nice to see he and his family are a part of this as well.
By the way, Frosty is collecting letters from all the good boys and girls along the parade.
Did you give him my letter? I had that
yours.
long list of things that I want
I
this
still
year.
have the list that you gave me from last year.
Mort, he's got to get that.
We're working on that. He's going to take these letters to Santa right after the parade.
I hope a lot of kids remember to bring theirs. And you're listening to the sights and sounds of the holiday. It's truly wonderful here in Detroit.
You know, I think it's the Christmas music more than anything else that really helps on this very special day to get us all in the mood for holiday shopping and for family and friends and all the things that this time of year mean to all of us.
Well, it's certainly a treat for the eyes and certainly enough for the spirit, but we start usually at Thanksgiving time, and it gets us all the way in through Christmas. And you know who that special person is at the end of this parade, as it is in every parade, and that's jolly old St. Nick, and that's what a lot of kids here are waiting for.
This is the 68th year that we have been putting on this parade here in Detroit.
And we'll be back in a moment with more of our coverage, but right now we'd like to say goodbye to our national audience from around the country. We're glad that you could join us.
For Carmen Harlan and Chuck Gatica, I'm Mort Krim, wishing you a happy Thanksgiving.